Hello and welcome, I'm your host Elizibar. That's a pretty great cover, right? Sadly, the cover doesn't have anything to do with the interior of the book, which is something I much prefer to see than just having like a generic pinup as the cover of my comic book. But hey, it's a nice piece. It's got Elvira on it. It's at least related to the book. I'm your host Elizibar, and we're going to talk about Elvira in Horrorland number 5, which is pretty funny, and it appears to be the end of this particular miniseries, which I think is good, because while I enjoyed this miniseries, I think the gag of her hopping from movie to movie would have gotten old if they'd kept it going for like 10 issues or 12 issues or something. Which, thinking back to the Vincent Price miniseries, I think that maybe could have went on for like one or two more issues as well, and then it would have just started getting kind of like run-of-the-mill, humdrum, and boring. So, good timing. Like, yeah, David Avallone, you picked the right time to end this story, I think. Because it ends on a high note. We're in David Cronenberg movies. We're in The Fly to start with. And I'm going to show off the first 5 pages, and then we're going to look at a little bit of other stuff, and that's going to be it. But first thing I just want to highlight is the art here by Silvia Califano. I hope I pronounced that right. Really great facial expressions. And the actors, or the characters I should say, look like the actors they're caricaturing. Like that looks a lot like Jeff Goldblum. So we're here in The Fly. We got crazy stuff happening, and we'll talk about some of that crazy stuff here in a minute. But again, just look at these great facial expressions. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. When an artist is absolutely like nailing different emotions, different facial expressions, instead of everybody just kind of having the same face and the same facial expression, it's fabulous. This art has tons of energy and juice in it. The art feels fun, and that's not an easy thing to do. It's absolutely great. The coloring is fantastic too. And you can look at this and go, yeah, but like her neck's a little longer here than it is in some of the other places, or her head looks funny or whatever. And you know what? I don't care because it fits, it works. Her hair looks fantastic. Just look at this panel right here. Like, we could just go on, look at each panel, and I can tell you why that panel is fantastic. Like, this is just an incredible sense of motion and energy. You can feel like the flippancy of that little throw right there. It's great. Over here, the like anger and desperation as she's fighting that hand, it's right there. There's jokes too. Like, don't forget, this is Elvira's kind of a comedy host for horror movies. So she does a lot of quips over the course of the book, and pretty much those quips all land. This next page is a very silly example of that. So right over here, she gets grabbed by those hands through the TV again. We're going full Videodrome here, people. Hands grab her. This is gonna be tight, and then falls up. That's what she said to make it a joke. And that's just how it is. There's a good rhythm to the humor in here. There's a lot of like pretty serious kind of stuff, and then there's a little quip that reminds us that it's a funny book. Literally, people call comic books funny books, but this literally is a funny book. I find humor in comic book form to be pretty hard to pull off, and yet for a couple of years now, David Avallone has been doing it in all these Elvira books, and he's only gotten better. The books have only gotten better. It's really cool stuff. I did just want to kind of flip ahead a little bit to some of the other stuff here. So, like, we've got, see, we're definitely in Videodrome, and I'm just going to, like, pop down to the last panel on this page. I wanted to get his likeness on camera because it's pretty good. It's really good. Boom. And, welcome the new flesh, or whatever the line is from Videodrome, right? Like, when you just start pulling, like, guns made of yourself out. There's even a closing line at the end that references, see, there's 4 Cronenberg movies referenced in this, and the fourth one is basically like the last panel. Dude references, what is it, Existence or whatever, where they're like recursing down through levels of a video game world. It's a really good book. It's a pretty funny book. I had a blast reading it. And you know what? If you like funny books, or you like Elvira, or you like David Cronenberg, like, these are all reasons to get in on this stuff. I imagine they'll be putting out a trade paperback pretty soon. of all 5 of these issues, and this is probably what you should wait for to get if you're not already following the series. And I did just want to kind of hop back here. There was an ad, which I thought was interesting. Issue 3 came out like a week before this book did, so shouldn't they have been advertising issue 3 instead of issue 2? I don't know. I don't decide like Dynamite's ad budget and where they want to do stuff, but that seems like a more natural fit. But then again, maybe they didn't have promo art for issue 3 when they put this into, to go to press like a couple months ago. Who knows? Time delays in business are crazy. You all have a great one out there. Check this out. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't want to say it's book of the week because I think it's got some really stiff competition from some of the other books I got. Oh, actually, no. I take it back. Sweetie came out the same week as Elvira and Horrorland 5 because here's issue 3. It's in the to-read stack. But anyway, there's so much stiff competition in the books I bought this week that this one might end up being in like 4th place, but that's not a knock against it. That just means that there were like cooler books. Man, like I'm looking at Unknown Kadath right up there in the already read stack, and it's like I don't know which I enjoyed more. That one had great atmosphere, great art. It really kind of carried a sense of mystery and dread and unknown. This was funny. These are both different flavors, and they taste great. You all take care of yourselves. I'm going to shut up now. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Click the bell for notifications. Leave me a comment down below. You know the drill. And take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.